Okay, let's talk about setting up this camera, the Mevo camera. Again, it comes in two parts. It has a detachable base. So let's work with the base here. The base has some threads, and that thread can go on the end of a microphone stand. So here's this basic microphone stand that we have. It has threads, and so it actually has a little washer here that goes up and down, which allows us to determine how far we want to go. But I'm just going to simply screw in the base for a while, and there we go. It is locked and ready to go. I'm going to tighten the bottom here. You'll notice that the microphone stand has a screwable section that allows us to extend. So I'm going to put the camera here at its full extension, lock it in here. Now let's go ahead and put our Mevo camera on. It only fits one way. And you'll notice on the back of the camera, again, it has two settings. Once you place the camera, it's held in place by a magnet, but it's very easy to knock off. So in order to avoid that, you'll notice we can switch the bottom here. It has to be connected. You rotate it to the lock position, and now the Mevo is nice and set there. So that's simply setting up the camera, locking it, and we'll talk about the correct placement of this camera where we place it on a Sunday morning. Okay, so it's a Sunday morning, and we want to stream our morning services. We have our Mevo camera. It's already connected and locked. This is where we're going to place it. I typically like to place it a little bit to the right of the podium, and I fully extend it. And the Mevo camera is best designed to be set approximately 10 feet away from the performers or whatever you're recording. So it has a wide angle. It's a 4K lens that outputs to 720 HD, so it records really well. But what it does is it actually fools us into believing that we have maybe a 3 or 4 camera shoot. By shooting wide angle, and then in camera, it'll do cropping and panning and zooming within the range of that big fisheye lens. So that's why we typically place it in front of the pulpit. It does a good job of capturing whoever's speaking, and it captures a wide range of somewhere between the middle of our two screens. So that's how we set up the camera, and I'm going to show you a couple more things to make sure that on a Sunday morning it runs. So we're going to add our USB power supply, the power brick, and we're going to connect it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So as you remember, we have our power brick here. It's fully charged. I got 4 blue lights, and what we're going to do is connect this long USB cable, connect it into the pocket here, place the battery either on the floor, the cable's long enough, and simply plug it into the back of the Mevo. And now we're ready to go for a Sunday morning service. It should last long enough to do a whole hour, maybe even a 2-hour service. We've used that. So that is where we place our camera. That's connecting it with the power supply. Okay, for the last piece, I want to make sure that we know how to turn the camera on. Once it's set and ready to go, it's simply just press the top button here once, and you'll notice that it turns a wonderful white color. And that white color, and it's moving, means that the Mevo camera is looking to be connected to the iPad. So we're going to discuss connecting that to the iPad, and I'll show you how to set that up. To turn it off, you simply press and hold it, and the unit will power itself down.